of our podcast, The Best Version of You. So, there was a week where there was no podcast, and I would like to tell why. Because I had been invited by the Ideas Conference in Paris, and I was giving my keynote address. This was the second one in person. So, I would like to share my journey with all the ups and downs. And why I want to do that is, normally there's a big emphasis about, certificates, achievements, celebrations, awards. But what goes behind it? What is the journey before any of that happens? So here I am, this brilliant opportunity came my way. I was approached by Ideas Conferences. They were looking at my content on social media and otherwise, and they were like, okay, we feel you're the right candidate for us to come to Paris for the Ideas Conference. And the next I'm going to Miami in July. So I said yes. And the one thing I have learned over time, the hard way, is when the opportunity comes your way, you say yes first, and then you figure out how you're going to manage around it. Yeah, that's a big learning point. Even if you don't always know the how around things, if an opportunity has come at your door, that's because you're ready for it. You deserve it. You've got what it takes. That's why it's there. There was a whole lot of self questioning. How is it going to work out? I'm pretty sure there will be so many speakers there who are par excellence. Like, how am I going to match up? I think at this point comes resilience, self belief, and motivation. So, we have talked so many times about the self love mirror exercise, about loving yourself unconditionally, about accepting yourself unconditionally, because there can be no self belief without self love and self acceptance, because otherwise, all the validation you're seeking is from outside. So, let me give you a real time example. So, here I am in Paris giving the keynote address. Now, let's think of two scenarios, okay? So if I'm there in front of these amazing, group of magnificent women, like each and every one of them was like, I don't have words, we literally formed beautiful connections for life. So here I am starting the address. Now, when I'm going to say something, I constantly am thinking, what are they going to think about me? Is that going to make sense to them? Is it going to pan out? Are they understanding what I'm saying? Is it like aligning with them? If constantly I am thinking this, I can't be myself. I can't be my authentic self. There is this guard, this veil in front of me that they won't really be able to see me, my message, who I am, what I stand for, my journey, nothing. So, in that place, validation from within comes. So I am not looking for the validation from the audience, and not because I'm thinking, oh, I'm thinking too great of myself. Because if I constantly keep seeking validation from them, I am not doing justice to what I am there for, you know, speaking my truth, being myself, being my authentic self, because otherwise this veil covers it. So, coming to the journey, here I am. I hadn't traveled by myself for a long period of time. So all the train journeys all booked. And so keeping yourself organized, whenever opportunity comes in, there's like, I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 things. And then, overwhelm. What do we do in overwhelm? We take that first next step, the tiniest possible next step. You keep moving. You keep moving. Small little steps, but you keep moving. I'm an over planner. I need to plan and this, but sometimes I go into over planning and I will use that as an excuse for procrastination. Good is better than perfect. Keep taking the next step and then you can make it perfect later. So, tickets are done. I have, Googled up and put all my travel itinerary together, getting things in order. Now, my next fear was like, I like going freestyle. Uh, Without a script per se or some slides per se, nothing against it, but somehow I feel they are restrictive in the flow of things. Anyways, but here I am, second international speaking event. I'm like, no, no, I should have slides. Okay, got the slides done. What if things don't work up there? Well, even if they don't, I do speak without slides. So you're going to be fine. I'm used to speaking, looking at my computer screen. So I'm looking, yes, I'm talking to, all you amazing people out there, but that's now my comfort zone. 5 years back, as I said, I would be struggling to even press the play button because of, all the limiting beliefs, all the self-doubt. So now the comfort zone has widened and I'm okay. But now this is the next step. So, see, when you're taking the next big step, that is when self doubt, questioning yourself, doubting yourself comes into play. Now, is self doubt always wrong? No. I think self doubt is your mind's way of telling you that, are you prepared? Are you okay? Have you got everything in order? Now, it's how you deal with it. Are you going to get lost in the self doubt, or you going to understand, okay, fine, I understand your concern. This is something new we are venturing upon. Don't worry, I'm getting things in order. So, this is where you take things in perspective. And the other scenario would be you go down the rabbit hole of self doubt and you're like, oh my God, I can't do this. So, here I am, things getting in order, one thing at a time, tickets, planning my journey. So, from home, drive to Hamden, train station, took the train to Gatwick. From Gatwick, flew to Paris. From there, went up and down the airport, I think 4 times, because there was something called a CDG valve, which was like a tube or something that took me close to the hotel. But anyways, I was going to reach one day before, so I'm like, doesn't matter. Yeah, that's me. That's me. Directions is not exactly my superpower, but you got to do what you got to do. I'm there. Now, next day morning, fine, already prepped up, early night. Morning, I did talk to myself in the mirror, reminding myself of the big why, right? So, my big why is not being an international speaker. My big why is not being an international best-selling author or anything else. The big why is being able to touch, inspire, and transform lives. Not because there is something, oh my God, I'm so amazing. No, because if there is this one person who is listening to what I'm saying right now and they feel, okay, if Ruchi can do it, then so can I. Or if you're thinking, you can do it, I can't. Yes, you can. You don't have to be a speaker, you don't have to be an author. Aligning with what is your superpower, what is your unique strength. Don't tell me you don't have it. Each and every one of us, we all have it. Every single person. It can be completely different from person to person, but we all have it. Okay, we'll come to that in a moment. So here I am. This is 8th of March, morning 7:30. That is when the presentations were going to start. My presentation was 9th of March. My fear was I don't want to be completely gripped with the fear. Oh my God, these are all so amazing. What am I going to do tomorrow? I want to be present. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to be completely there. So I'm there, rooted myself, did the self love mirror exercise in the morning. I mean, as I said, I met the most amazing, spectacular, magnificent women with golden hearts, literally. And I would not be exaggerating when I say that. Next day morning, mine is the second presentation. Here we go. So everything is going according to plan. The first lady's completed the presentation, and then what happens? My heart is racing. Yeah. I'm feeling tightness in my shoulders, at the back of my neck. Yeah. All these weeks of preparation, I'm like, okay, fine. I was like, okay, what can I do now? My physiology changes how I feel. So when the lady was, well, in the talk, when I had 10 minutes, so I was behind, I started deep breathing, telling myself, I'm excited. This is a golden opportunity. So, see, this is where the power of reframe comes into play. The power of reframe is being excited and being nervous in the body doesn't feel very different. Okay. And anytime you go beyond your comfort zone, all growth, all magic lies beyond your comfort zone. That's the truth of it. That is the truth of it. And when you go beyond your comfort zone, you face challenges. Now your body's feeling uncomfortable because this is all so new. I am not okay with it. How do you make it feel comfortable? Deep breathing. Breathe, hold, release, few deep breaths. I told myself, I'm so excited. This is a golden opportunity. They approached me, they wanted me to be here because my message is important, because these people love to hear it. That's it. I went in there. Now, as I start, so again, there is a group of all these women there. And again, I'm not looking at my comfortable computer screen, you see. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk to this one person. Problem, this one person can move, their expressions can change, their expressions might not always be aligned with what I am saying. Now, I don't want that to break my flow, right? Like, okay, go with the flow. So I started with all the affirmations that I tell myself, right? And I started with that. And I literally said that loud and I asked everybody in the audience to repeat. So that kind of, shakes the energy in the room a bit. They're repeating those affirmations aloud for me. Now, they are working for them, but they are possibly working more for me. Because as I said, for me to be able to do complete justice to that talk I'm there for, I need to be who I am. I do not want to be the 5-year-old me who is constantly seeking validation from a teacher or a parent or somebody else, or even myself from about, say, even 5 years back. So, did the talk went amazing? The talk went well, but there was a lot of learning potential, what I could have done better, what I could have learned from other people. Talk went amazing. There was a whole lot of, amazing nuggets. People told me, oh, wow, this was amazing. There were messages later from people I met there. Oh, can you just write the affirmations and send it back to me? But here comes my old self. The talk is done. I'm back. Now, every other talk I'm listening through the day, I'm thinking, oh, I could have done that. Oh, I could have said that. Oh, what? Then, I have to again remind myself to step back. No, I'm here to be me. I was invited to deliver my message to be me. And they are being themselves. And I told myself, Ruchi, you need to follow what you tell others, which is the only comparison is yourself, your previous self. So my previous self from 5 years back would rather die than be on that stage in front of people, leave apart sharing the message. So that is my only comparison, right? If I started, so now there were people who have been amazing speakers for like 20 years, 10 years. It's an unfair comparison. If it's only the second international speaking event I'm doing, I cannot compare myself. And I think it would be wrong on my part to compare myself to how awesome somebody who's been doing that for 10 years, 15 years. So there's the reframe. Wow, okay. So I had my notes in my iPhone. So what is it that I can learn? So next time I'm doing it, what can I improve? How can I grow? So see, again, there's two ways of looking at it. Now, if I, like my previous self, if I got stuck into the thing like, oh my God, this person is doing it so well. Oh, I did not do it well. And I start going into my shell. That's one choice. The second choice is no, Ruchi, reminder, you are your only comparison. Compare yourself maybe to your 5-year-old self. And I'm like, yeah, okay. That person would not come even near the stage. And here I am, traveling to Paris by myself, here in front of these magnificent women, doing the talk, coming back. I actually received a prize, the award, Rising Women Speakers Excellence Award. And I was like, anyways, the prize, the award came much later. So, what I'm trying to say is there is always a reframe that you can choose. Situations don't define you. Your perspective about situations, how you look at them, and how you choose to respond to them is what really, really meaningful, right? So that is what I really wanted to share. And the highlight of everything was here I am, everything is yes. And the best thing, so I love doing my yoga at least 5 days a week. So every single day while I was there, even on the morning when I was supposed to catch my flight, I did my half an hour of yoga in my hotel room. My mat and my workout clothes were there. Why? Because that helps me move the energies. That helps me. I can say, oh well, I'm traveling, why should I do it? Your body is a miraculous vehicle that you've been gifted with. So taking care of yourself includes everything: physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And that is not something you can choose to do, right? That's so important. You bought a car, you cannot change it, you cannot upgrade it for the next 50, 90 years, how much care are you going to take of it? Your body is just that for you, your miraculous vehicle, right? So self care is not like, just for the few, it's for every single person. If you want to embrace your true potential, if you want to live up to your highest potential, you got to take care of yourself. If you're not taking care of the vehicle, it cannot perform to the best. Yeah, makes sense? Right. Next, we come to motivation and resilience. Okay. Why is it important? Motivation and resilience are extremely important because challenges will come your way. Failures will come, setbacks will come. Now, a whole lot of times I'm asked like, "Oh, Ruchi, wow, it's been so amazing. You have your chapter in Voices of Impact. That book is a bestseller. You're a speaker. So even, oh wow, everything's going so well for Ruchi. But what goes inside it? What has gone in it? A whole lot of self awareness, who I am, what do I stand for, what does a meaningful and purposeful life mean for me, what lights me up, what brings me joy. These deep questions are really important because what happens is when you're doing something that's completely aligned to you, now see, outwardly things might change. So if I'm saying I'm here to help you to touch, inspire, and transform people, to help people heal, to help them grow, to embrace their highest potential, their unique strength, and find themselves beyond all the limiting beliefs and subconscious blocks covering them. So that's what I want to do, right? You are a true diamond. You're here to shine. You're not here to shrink and live beneath the debris of limiting beliefs and subconscious blocks because none of us was born with it. We collect them over time like luggage. So I think it would be so painful. Like, we are souls who have come here for this amazing, magnificent existence to touch lives, to live to our unique strengths, to learn, to grow, to progress. Now, just imagine fitting yourself into a box and thinking, this is all I can do. Yeah. So, Ruchi 3 years back was like, I'm a doctor. I chose to be a doctor at 18 years old. This is all I can do. There's nothing else I can choose or be in life. Who said that? Who made that rule? Nobody. So these are limitations and limiting beliefs we create for ourselves. Nobody else does. Find what limits you. Beliefs, what are beliefs? Beliefs are repetitive thinking patterns. We have thought the same thing consciously, unconsciously, or subconsciously so many times that now it's like this. You don't even have to think about it. So I would really encourage you to write down now or maybe after the podcast 5 beliefs that you hold about yourself. And I would say don't overthink it. What comes through is generally on the surface and most true for you. And then question it. Is it really true? Because generally most beliefs are formed very early in our life. Very early. Like, when you would take another person's explanation or idea or thought pattern or worldview as like, oh, that is how it is. Generally the first 5 years of your life. Then we have a whole lot of conscious information that comes in, but that doesn't change the beliefs. So now it's time to question the belief. If you hold a negative belief about yourself, uh, I am too shy, I cannot speak in public, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm very introverted, or whatever it is that you think of. I am a very, very private person. I am a very empathic person, and I'm very introverted. Most of my life, I was told to develop a thick skin. You are too sensitive. Come on, you got to toughen up. How are you going to even survive life? So I always thought, like, being an empath was somehow my weakness. Something wasn't right with me. When I stepped into my unique strengths, you know that's when I realized, no, this is a unique strength that I have. This is not a weakness. This is not a weakness. I think the best compliment I ever got from I think this was a couple of patients and from a client was, they put it in such beautiful words. So in the movie Avatar, if you remember, I mean, I love the movie. I hope you have seen it. If not, so there's scene where they say, like, I see you. So this patient tells me, like, I love being here because, of course, you have great clinical skills. Mondays and Tuesdays I still work as an ophthalmologist in the hospital, and Wednesday to Friday is when I do the inner powered access coaching sessions and rapid transformational and subconscious reboot RTT sessions. So my patient tells me, you know what? I'm like, thank you so much. And he's very grateful and everything. And he's like, you see me. Like, I'm not just a number on your clinic list. You see me, you hear me. Now this is so normal, isn't it? You go for a consultation, you deal with another human being. You would expect that to be the most normal thing. How often does it happen? You're talking to your partner or a friend, they're half distracted with something else, they want to do something. I'm not saying they're doing it on purpose, but or they're looking at your phone. And I recently told my husband that, what, the most important gift you can give to a person you love or even otherwise is your complete and undivided attention, to make sure they feel seen, they feel heard. Do that, through the day. Somebody you love, another human being, be completely present for them. Completely. Not distracted by some thought in your head, not distracted by, oh, what am I going to say next? Normally the conversation, oh, this person is saying that. I'm going to say that. Hold space for that person. Don't jump. Don't interrupt. Hold space. You'll be giving them the most precious gift of your complete presence and undivided attention. It doesn't have to be ages, 10 minutes, the quality of the time you spend together. A couple sitting together, both of them staring at the television. I think mostly that's what we do as spending time together. Not very useful, but giving the person you love your complete presence is, I think, very, very, very priceless gift. Right, coming back to it, resilience and motivation. I don't know who said it, but I read it, which was quite funny, but true. So, motivation is like having a bath. We have a bath every day. I presume everybody has good hygiene, so we all have a bath every day. So, motivation is like having a bath. It is going to run out. You have to keep pulling it up. You cannot be like, oh, I was motivated yesterday. I'm not feeling good right now. So, that's it. I'm not going to do anything. No. How do you get yourself motivated? Your big why. So, having a board, it doesn't have to have any fancy pictures. Having a goal. When I say goal, I want to be a millionaire. No, that's not a goal. Why do you want to be a millionaire? What are you going to do with those £1,000,000? What is the vision you have for yourself? You have those £1,000,000. Okay, then what? You're going to sit on it? Spend it all away? What is your bigger vision that will bring that why meaning? So always remember, your why has to be bigger than you, and only then it can keep you going with motivation, with resilience on a good day, bad day, challenging day. I mean, all of us have got personal lives, professional lives, and that involves people. People are not always predictable. No matter how nice and kind you are, they have their thing going on. Coming to that, resilience building, emotional regulation is extremely important. I would like to give you an exercise for emotional regulation building. Very simple. If you're not driving or using any heavy machinery right now, I would request you to close your eyes with me. This is just 5 minutes long. Close your eyes, breathe, hold, release. Breathe, hold, release. Deep breathing helps declutter your mind, defog your mind. Now, I want you to imagine this beautiful river in front of you. Okay, so you are out in nature going for this amazing walk, beautiful daffodils and roses all around you, amazing, sunny, warm, pleasant day. And you're smiling, joyous, cheerful, and you see a river flowing in front of you. And if you just have a peep, what do you see in the river? In the river, you see all your thoughts, emotions, feelings, and you're here looking at them. Now, I want you to hold this space, okay? That you are here, you are the observer, and in the river are the thoughts, emotions, and feelings. So you don't have to shut it out, you don't have to, not feel it, But you stay in your power poise and you choose whether you jump into that river of thoughts, emotions, and feelings and drown in it. That's when we feel paralyzed. That's when we feel out of control, not knowing what to do because the emotion is controlling you rather than you controlling the emotion or thoughts or feelings, with the thoughts going into a downward spiral of negativity. Now, staying in your power poise, practice this visual, just as a visual once a day, so that you're forming a bridge in calmer times that you can use in times of challenging situations, like a strong emotion coming to overpower you. Could be anger, anxiety, or any strong emotion that comes in and you struggle with. So when you do this, you give yourself the power to choose to respond rather than react. What is the difference? The difference is the two magic words: step back. When you step back, you can choose to respond. Whereas when you are in the river, you're just overwhelmed by the thoughts, emotions, and feelings. There is no chance you can respond. You're just going to react because you're just completely consumed by them. Now, why is it important to practice it frequently? Because it's like, like beliefs form. When you do it n number of times, it's your normal go to. So when you're doing it daily, as I said, it takes a couple of minutes really. You're at work, you close your eyes for a minute, you're done. So now this is the new pathway forming, new neural pathway forming, the way you respond to a strong thought, strong emotion, strong feeling. Emotional regulation is key to resilience. If you cannot manage your own emotions, thoughts, and feelings, it will be very difficult to manage interpersonal relationships. And we're human beings, we deal with another human being, may it be personal life, may it be professional life, wherever you are, whatever you do, right? So, for resilience, emotional regulation is key. Second key to resilience would be understanding your self worth comes from within you, from who you are, and not from what you do. So, this podcast doesn't give me self worth. Me being an international author doesn't give me self worth. Being an international speaker doesn't give me self worth. My self worth is innate. It is based on my internal validation that comes from within. That gives me resilience. Because, see, if you base your self worth on other people's approval and validation, it's always going to change. Some people will like you, some people won't. You cannot afford to base your self belief or self worth on that. So, completely ingraining it that my self worth and self belief is innate. That is key to resilience. Now, we talked about self care. Coming back to self care, your body is your amazing, miraculous vehicle that you've been gifted with. So, taking care of it is not like a luxury, it's a must. It's a must. It's like, for example, church or mosque or temple, any place. It's like the divine presence is within, but you still keep the body of the temple or mosque or church clean, right? So our souls reside within, but this body is the vehicle that we have chosen, and the physical, mental, vital, your unique strengths are the way they are because this vehicle was just right for you to what you are meant to bring into the world, your unique strengths. Don't hide them. Don't try to fit yourself into some acceptable mold somebody else wants. You want security? Yes, that's completely understandable. I love treating my patients, and Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm still in the hospital doing it, but finding balance in your life. When I was wanting to do it 5 days all through the week, I, I was overwhelmed. I couldn't do it, I couldn't manage it. Find balance in your life. What works for you? How can you make it work? How can you take that one next step to your bigger why? Asking yourself clear and the right questions is key. When you ask the right questions, your intuitive guidance, your deeper self It's like your intuition is constantly guiding you. It's not like, some of those five people have intuition and I don't. No. Every single human being has intuition. It is the guidance from your deeper self. You know, I hope you would agree with me that we are not here by chance. All we have to do is just calm the mental clutter. How do you do that? Ruchi, I've got a busy life, I've got kids, I've got job, I've got work to do. What do you want me to do? Go in the Himalayas and meditate? No. I want you to take 10 minutes out of your day, deep breathe, that we just did. Breathe for 5, hold for 5, release for 5, maybe 4 to 5 breaths. It helps declutter things. If you're still feeling fogged up, take a pen and paper, just write. Yeah. Writing is cathartic. Writing gives you a whole lot of solutions. Writing gives you directions. And all those things that were churning into your head kind of find a place, clarity, light. Yeah. Do that. Positive visualization is extremely powerful. Ruchi, how do you do visualization? All of us visualize. All worry, all anxiety comes from visualization. What is worry and anxiety? You are trying to imagine an outcome that is not what you want and then worry and be anxious about it. That is what visualization is. So, positive visualization is basically no, it is not just wish washing and wanting something to happen, but when you have been there, before, it's easier to go back there again. They have done it with Olympic athletes. So there was this study, and so they put all the equipment, and so these athletes were just told that they're not physically running, but they are running their actual Olympic race in their mind. And guess what? Everything in the body, the thought process, everything was exactly the same as they would do it in person on the racetrack. So, positive visualization is if you've been there in the mind, you can easily be there again. So, when I'm preparing for my speaker event, amazing, I can have all the slides right and getting. So, there's a balance. You get all the things that need to be done. But with the positive visualization, I'm like, okay, I'm going through all the steps, being in a comfortable space, doing what I need to do. You feel the feels, you see, hear, feel, believe. You see the reaction of the audience that I'm talking to. Okay, what is it that they are feeling? How is You live the moment. When you have lived it before, it's easier, very easy for your body to live it again. Yes, despite that, my body was like pounding before I start. That's fine. There's always ways and means to go beyond it. Your reaction, self doubt is all because the body feels out of the comfort zone. That's why the pounding, worry. The mind feels outside of the comfort zone. That's why the self doubt. So there's always a reason. It's not against you. It's about, okay, fine. You register it as, okay, I get your point. Let me explain you. But for that, you need to be able to step back from the thought, emotion, and feeling. Only then you can do that. And that's why resilience. Because if you can't do that, then if we start drowning, and we have all done that, I have done that, you have done that, every single person I believe has done that. That one thought comes in and immediately you get into this downward spiral. Stopping that spiral, questioning that thought. Yeah. You can't control situations, but you can always control your thoughts, how you respond to it. So that's your strength. Right. So normally I try to keep the podcast about half an hour, right? As I always say, if you want me to talk about any particular topics that are of interest to you, feel free to write in the comments. So right now this is going live on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube, all of the places. I am offering inner power access coaching sessions and subconscious reboot rapid transformational therapy sessions. Why both of them together? Because inner power access coaching works with your conscious mind, and subconscious RTT sessions work with the subconscious blocks. So the two of them together is a powerful package. Ruchi, does it work? Yes, it works. So, from the me I was 3 years back in postpartum depression right after giving birth to my son to the person I am now, as I said, outward achievements do not define your self worth. But the biggest thing was alignment with what I want, who I am, what lights you up, what keeps you going, what is your idea, concept, reality of a meaningful, purposeful life. Align with that. And then keep taking that one small step. Ruchi, I want to be starting my own coaching business, or whatever it is for you. We are like beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beings. The possibilities, the potential is endless. Ask yourself this question. If you're not paid for it, what is it that you would do just for the joy of it, just for the amazing deep fulfillment you get out of it? Now, it's going to be completely different for different people. For somebody, it could be going and teaching kids. For somebody else, it could be something totally else. Find time for that. Maybe do it half an hour a week, 1 hour a week. Now, if you're telling me, Ruchi, I want to start my business. Well, I come from, I'm a doctor working in the NHS. All I know is doing my work, my salary is being paid. I did not get the B of business. And honestly, I'm still not sure I understand the workings of it. It's like you take one step at a time. You don't have to figure out everything in this moment. Just take that one step, take the next step. So, this is your car going, and the headlights are on. You can see so far. Take the next step. When you move ahead, the headlights will go further and you will see further. Then you take the next step. If I sit here thinking, what will happen 1,000 steps later, you're just gonna get stuck. That doesn't help. Negative emotions are not there to, like, make you fall down. Negative emotions is just like, your system saying, I don't feel prepared for it. Can we do better? So, how do you talk to yourself? Your self talk is so, 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 so important. Extremely important. If you don't like somebody else, you can run away from them. I don't want to talk to you. You cannot run away from yourself, right? So, the self love mirror exercise is about improving the quality of your self talk. Most of us talk so much kinder to our friends and possibly family when they are going through a rough patch. But if you're going through that, you're like, oh, you always do this. Oh, you're not as kind to yourself. Be kind to your inner child. It needs your love. All of us have unmet needs as a child, not because, our parents were bad or grandparents were bad. No. Any human being that was there for you growing up, they had their own traumas, their own healing, small traumas, big traumas. And we learn to see at what we can and cannot do from their idea of life, from their worldview. But it's time to become your own loving parent. You can meet your own unmet needs because you understand yourself the best. You know what you need. You know what you want the other person to say to make you feel I'm feeling low about something. I want my husband or somebody else to say something. Well, they're not mind readers always, no matter how much they love you. I can go in front of the mirror and tell myself that same thing. Starting your day looking in front of the mirror and telling yourself, Ruchi, I love you. I love you truly, deeply, and unconditionally. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you because of who you are, not just what you do. I love being your loving parent. I'm here to remind you of your unique strengths every single day. Trust me, this literally changes the energy of your day. Whatever you do, whoever you interact with, whatever work you do, literally everything. Love yourself truly, accept all parts of you. I mean, there's another podcast that I did about childhood sexual abuse. I mean, that I would say is an extreme form of trauma. Do not, if you feel that I need to hide a part of me from myself and from others to be loved and accepted, well, then we have to understand that we are on shaky grounds for self belief, because self love and self acceptance, you've got to be able to love and accept all parts of you. Not saying, no, this needs to be excluded and that needs to be excluded. That is the basis. That is the basis. From there, you can build upon emotional regulation. From there, we can build upon resilience, motivation. So it's a step by step approach. Keep investing in yourself. Keep investing in yourself because you are your biggest asset. Every single day, Keep taking that one step further, right? Every single day, right? How do you know you've got a subconscious block or a limiting belief? I know I can do this. I know I'm meant for this. But there's always this but. I know I can lose weight. But. So the problem is consciously, I know I need to go to the gym and eat right. Consciously, I know I need to get this stuff done. Consciously, I know I'm so smart and intelligent. But the problem, the first 5 years of your life, where most of the subconscious blocks come in, they stay unless you question them, unless you deal with them. Let me give you an example. I've worked with a 60-year-old lady and really, really accomplished ICU nurse. We were working on self confidence, self esteem. Most of the time, I attract clients who have self confidence, self esteem, self belief issues because I think you attract your previous self. And I have had major, major issues with low self confidence, low self esteem, negligent self worth. Like, I was a major people pleaser. Like, it was all about how do I get validation from my parents or from my teachers. Yes, teachers feel you're an amazing student, parents feel you're a spectacular, amazing, awesome. My brother was being told, why don't you become like your sister? That's all great. But I think once you want to do your own thing, once you are choosing to go inward on your inner healing journey, is that where you want to be? Because we just talked, right? If you base your self-worth on other people's validation and approval, it's a recipe for disaster. It is a recipe for disaster, personal life or professional life. So, therefore, working on yourself, no matter what you do, you're a professional, you have your own business, you're a homemaker, you want to be the best mom, you want to be the best parent, whatever you do, if you don't take care of this, if you don't take care of what goes inside here, everything outside will always be out of place. So, I love listening to Shradhalu Ranade, and he mentioned to be a master of yourself for self mastery, you need to be a master. To be a master of your circumstances, you need to be a master of yourself, right? So in Hindi, you would call it to be a samrat, that is master of your circumstances. You need to be a swarat, which is master of yourself. So all of these things that we talked about, emotional resilience, emotional regulation, self cultivating, understanding how you function, self-love, self-acceptance, self-belief, taking care of yourself, your body, all of this helps in help you moving towards self-mastery. So you do not need to be like, getting all OCD about controlling the circumstances around you. Right. So let's take a minute. I have been speaking for the last 45 minutes and I'll stop now. And I really, really hope that you found meaning in what I said. You found learnings in what I said, motivation to take the next step. But most importantly, I just want to convey that I'm not here to preach. I'm just here to say that I'm somebody who struggled with pretty much the same things that you might be struggling with: low self confidence, low self esteem, no self trust, self doubt. I have been there. I know how crippling it is. And there's always a way out. There is always a way out. I think for me, postpartum depression was the downhill. It's like I was at the rock bottom. You can't go any further down. Where do you go? You need to find your way back to yourself. There is no other way. So now I look at it as a blessing in disguise because when you can't go outside, you need to go inside. Start with self awareness. Self awareness is always about making time for yourself, 10, 20 minutes a day to reconnecting with yourself. What do I need today? Okay. Have I drunk enough water? Am I eating right? Can I make 10 minutes of walk? I'm busy, Ruchi. I can't exercise. 10 minutes of walk, maybe around your office block. If your cup is empty, if you don't take care of yourself, there is nothing you can offer anybody else. May it be family, may it be your work, nothing. So that's why self care is so important, right? Love yourself, truly love yourself. You cannot really love somebody else unless you learn to love and accept yourself unconditionally. So that's really important. We talked about a whole lot of things, but have this one takeaway from what we said and then implement it in your life. And I would, just wrapping up, I really want to share why I do this podcast, because I have been so inspired, motivated, and literally, like, if my flame was like this, my flame lit up, literally lit up back again listening to that podcast. So, all these amazing podcasts. I listen to the podcast, the School of Greatness podcast by Lewis Howes, Mel Robbins podcast, On Purpose by Jay Shetty is my all-time favorite. So all of these podcasts, like, I was like, wow, like if I could share my journey, if I could share, what my obstacles were, what my failures are, maybe that one person listens, maybe that one person is like, oh, okay, I know what my next step is. That's why I do this podcast. Mostly about an hour before, I am not sure what I'm going to talk about. It comes from my recent experiences, my own pitfalls, my own struggles, and that is what I want to do. Make sure you keep aligning with yourself, not wanting to fit into anybody else's box for you, because that's not what you're here for. Be authentically and unapologetically you. If you feel there's something standing in the way, I offer inner power access coaching sessions and subconscious reboot RTT sessions, and I will be posting the links in the comments below. You are very welcome to get on the discovery call on the inner power access confidence booster call with me. We can explore further what is holding you back and how best can I help you. Yeah. Wonderful. So we are now wrapping up, and it was my pleasure and honor to be here with you, to share what I could share. And thank you so much. Please let me know if you have any feedback about the podcast, if you would like anything particular to be discussed here, any further ideas. And that's me. Wonderful. And onto the YouTube channel, there's a whole lot of other wealth. So I talk about inner child healing. There is free inner child healing meditations that I've done that are available on my YouTube channel. I have had amazing feedback about it. So healing your inner child is a very important part of your inward journey. So make sure you get the most out of it. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a fabulous, fabulous day. Bye bye.